Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Head, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion. Your host, Sal, and welcome back to another visit to the insane asylum known as WFAN.
They're coming to take me away, ha-ha, they're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha, to the funny fun.
Now, welcome back to the Baseball Head 3, and hopefully you like this video and hit that subscribe button. We're gonna do another video on the former patients at the Nervous Hospital known as WFAN. We got good old Sal Licata, Sal Licata's video. He's doing a pretty good job on YouTube. You know, the one thing about these different broadcasters, why don't you do that stuff on the side? Why do you all have to do stuff at the fan? Even if you're a loser, I mean, even if you're a host at the night, at night or on the weekends. I mean, what the hell are you waiting around for to get the big chair? You're not gonna get the big chairs. They're not going to put you on during the week. So what the hell are you doing like weekends and just doing weekends? And skulking around looking for jobs. Oh, well. Now, as an independent creator, I'm concerned for all these different losers. I mean, all these different people coming in here and taking up our space. But Sal Licata had a emotional reunion with his former partner, the Coconut, a.k.a. Brandon Tierney, on Thursday. They had a show. I don't know if they planned on this show beforehand. Before they were told to hit pound sand, hit the bricks, Junior, when it came to leaving WFAN. But here's from Barrett Media. Headline: Sal Licata reflects on emotions of BT and Sal live event following the WFAN exit. Well, it's a little emotional me reading this. You know, Sal Licata was one of my favorite targets. I mean, one of my favorite topics. Always get that word confused. I don't know why. It starts with a T. I think that's what it is. Quote, I don't know what I was expecting. I was more anxious, nervous, also very excited to do a show in front of a live crowd. But I've never done one on my own like that. Sal Licata admitted he didn't fully know what to expect when he walked on stage Thursday night for the Coconut and Spaz show event in front of a live audience at the Vogel in Red Bank, New Jersey. What unfolded, however, left a lasting emotional imprint that lingered long after the lights went down. Let me tell you, if it was in Long Island here at close to the HUD, I would have went. I would have gone. That would have been interesting. Why can't they do? Why do they always have to have these stupid events in New Jersey all the time? During the most, I don't want to say it. During the most recent episode of the Sal Licata show, Spaz reflected on the night, describing a mix of anxiety, nerves, and excitement that accompanied his return to a stage setting, one that felt especially personal given the show's abrupt end on WFAN last month. Yeah, the show was canceled because Greg Carton came back. Greg Counsell. I did a video earlier on Craig Kimbrell. I missigned him, and I said Craig Counsell. I had to redo it. I'm not redoing this video. I don't care. But Craig Carton returned, and unfortunately, people had to go. You know, they got rid of a whole bunch of, update people. They got rid of the updates, by the way. I didn't know they still had them, but they got rid of the updates. They had to let go a couple update people. And Sal and the Coconut Head got fired. They would let go. Their contracts were up. I think Sal was fired. You know, Tierney, who'd been there a long time, they let his contract run out. But and of course they moved Uneven Evan and his husband Tiki in the mid mornings back to the mid mornings, and now of course Craig Carton is teamed up with the psycho cute Craig McMonagle, who seems much more gregarious than the pictures you find of him online. I mean, he looks like an Axeman online, but you watch him on TV, he doesn't seem so negative when he's moving around, I guess. Quote, I gotta tell you, it was incredible, Spaz said. I don't know what I was expecting. I was more anxious, nervous, also very excited to do a show in front of a live crowd. But I never done one on my own like that. And what the hell's he talking about? What other shows has he done live? The event marked the first time Licata and the Coconut, a.k.a. Brandon Tierney, had reunited publicly since their weekday show was removed from WFAN's weekday lineup. While the duo spent more than 2 years together on air, Licata acknowledged the unusual circumstances surrounding the event made the night feel different from anything he had experienced previously. This was a show that no longer exists, Licata explained. To many extents, the show, BT and Sal, failed, at least in the people who put the show together, and in their minds it wasn't good enough to keep it on WFAN. Now, as a nice person, they build their shows online on YouTube. At some point, WFAN or some other group, some other network group, or are going to come to them, and they're going to be begging them to have them back, or have them on their shows, or have them on their networks. Spaz had not shared a stage or studio with the attorney in over a month. In addition, the event required listeners to purchase tickets and travel to New Jersey, and another layer of uncertainty, Licata admitted. Even so, the turnout exceeded his expectations. Now, I would have spent money to go if it was here in New York, not crummy New Jersey. Who the hell wants to go to New Jersey? You must be some dedicated fan. There must be a couple dedicated fans out there. Quote, I hadn't done the show with BT in over a month after doing shows together for 2.5 years, he said. And it's in Jersey, you sell them tickets for it. Who knows about the prices? We really do appreciate everybody who drove down there. The emotional peak came before a single word was spoken on stage. Organizers opted to have Licata and Tierney enter through the back of the venue, walking directly to the audience as the show's familiar opening music played. They had music? The Spaz and Coconut music? I didn't even know they had music. When the song hit, the place went nuts, Licata said. I'm not saying it was a ton of people. It was 400 people. I'm not even sure how many people there. But the place went nuts, and it was a weird feeling. That's about half of what I got. Imagine I had to fill out one of these, but I couldn't even get 10 people. There'll probably be a lot of people, you're black, this and that, you know what I'm talking about. That reaction, Licata said, reaffirmed the connection the show had built with its audience, even after its end. As the night progressed, the energy only intensified. The energy that we both felt with the intro and the crowd, and walking through the crowd and high-fiving everybody and thanking them for coming, and then getting up on stage and doing our thing, Licata said. I'll tell you, I'm still kind of on a high from it. For Spaz, the reunion was even more nostalgic. It was validation that the bond formed on the air continues to resonate, even when the show itself, they've only been apart a month. I'm sure they've been talking. The hell are they talking about? I mean, really, they've only been separated for a month. Like, come on. I guess they had Aaron Boone there. I don't know why. It's weird. But, you feel bad for them. Continue to feel bad for them. But, hopefully they'll be willing to do stuff on their own. It doesn't seem like they want to do it completely on their own. They want sponsors. And the one thing on how to sponsor is, they tell you what to say. Like BT is not going to be completely unleashed. He was unleashed until he gets a sponsor. Then the sponsor will say, you can't say this, you can't say that. And meanwhile, Spaz has a sidekick? Is he worthy of a sidekick? The host is not worthy of a sidekick because I'm like, well, Batman has a sidekick. But Batman a lot of times doesn't have one. I don't need one. And Batman's attitude's like that, but he always has a sidekick around. So I don't want a sidekick. Although it would be nice to talk to somebody on a live stream. I could get family, but they're busy all the time. And they're kind of shy, I think, to talk on a stream. I guess they don't like the idea of people making fun of them. I had no problem making fun of them, and I had no problem with it. He's been doing it for many years, but a sidekick? Sal Licata is worthy of a sidekick? He's not worthy of a sidekick. He's more of a sidekick. Sal Licata is a sidekick. I'm sorry. No, I'm not going to be... I've said crazy things about Sal for the last 3 years, but Sal is a sidekick. He's not a guy that gets a sidekick. Am I missing something here? I don't get that. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of a sidekick myself. To be honest with you. But, well, this is another video. Well, actually another video on the former patients at the insane asylum known as WFAN.
They're coming to take me away, ha-ha. They're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha, to the funny fun.